From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
It is the largest dam of its kind in the world, and it's right here in Montana. We take a look at the history of Fort Peck as it celebrates a big anniversary this year. And at a time when many restaurants are nervous about the future, we show you a new one opening its doors right here in Billings during the pandemic. And before families sit down and enjoy that Thanksgiving feast, many are hitting the roads and skies this evening. Bob will let you know if it will be smooth sailing for travelers. Well, good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger. As COVID-19 infections continue to surge across Montana, everyone is asking when and how it can begin to stop or at least slow down. MTN's Mike Dennison posed those questions and more to the state's top infectious disease specialist this week. They said light is visible at the end of the tunnel, but the length and depth of the darkness depends on the actions of individual Montanans in coming months.
Dr. Greg Holtzman is Montana's state medical officer at the State Department of Public Health and Human Services. He says a vaccine for COVID-19 may be available as early as next month. But access to any vaccine will be in stages, he says, and is not the only solution that's needed.
But if we sat here and waited until everybody got vaccinated, we're going to lose a lot more lives and have a lot more people suffering. So we want to move now, doing all the public health interventions.
And according to Holtzman and Jim Murphy, the head of Montana's State Bureau of Communicable Disease Control and Prevention, that means adhering to some basic guidelines to prevent the spread. Stay home as much as possible and limit personal contacts. If you do go out, keep 6 feet apart. And when interacting with those outside your personal circle, wear one of these, a face mask. Both men say a lack of compliance to these simple directives has fueled the spread of COVID-19, leading to more than 1,000 new cases a day this month in Montana.
If you look at the estimates of masking use in Montana, we're well below where you would want to be in order to help contain the spread of this.
So we need people to be all working together, and you can't have a large proportion deciding not to follow the guidance and expect the virus to go away.
Murphy says health professionals expected a surge once the weather turned and people moved indoors in closer contact. But the relentless increase in cases is putting extreme stress on Montana's hospitals and healthcare system, stretching their ability to deal with other illnesses or accidents.
Just go to any of the ERs and see how many people are coming in that they're not sick enough to actually end up in the hospital, but the ER providers are seeing these patients, trying to take care of them, get them in the right sense, and give them the guidance of what to do and to come back if things get worse.
And while many COVID-19 cases may have mild symptoms, the disease still has killed more than 650 Montanans, more than 1% of those contracting the virus.
If everybody in Montana, was a victim of COVID or got COVID, and 1% was our fatality rate, that's 10,000 Montanans that you would lose during that time. That's a sobering number for some folks.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Well, hope may be on the horizon, but today another rough one on the COVID-19 front as 21 more Montanans have died from COVID-related illness, along with 911 new positive cases. Flathead County reported the most new deaths with 9. Yellowstone County saw 3 more deaths today. The death toll in Montana has now reached 673 since the pandemic began. Gallatin County saw the most new cases today with 159, while Yellowstone came in with 112. Over in Wyoming, Governor Mark Gordon has tested positive for COVID-19. Gordon's office says he has minor symptoms, plans to continue working remotely as he recovers from the virus. The announcement comes on the same day Wyoming legislators announced they would delay the bulk of the 2021 legislative session until the spring. Well, this news as COVID-19 cases also continue to climb at a fast pace in the Cowboy State. The state now has more than 26,000 positive cases and 200 deaths. Natrona County is the hotspot right now with close to 4,000 cases. All right, turning to Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire. And Bob, today's traditionally a huge travel day.
Yes.
How's the weather looking for those who will be taken to the roads?
Well, we are in the process of it changing right now. Let me go right to the Doppler radar right now. And as you can see, it started off with mostly rain. And then the last half hour or so, we started to see some of that rain change over to snow right here just in eastern Yellowstone County. Looks like Huntley had a little bit of light snow flurry activity out of it as well. So far, it's not hurting the roads this much because it's not sticking too well. But let me pull back a little bit farther and show you do have some more snow up there by Great Falls. And here's what's going to happen. It's It's all part of the same system. It's a cold front that's dropping down from Canada. You can see rain mixing with snow in south central Montana. Most of the stuff either to the west of Billings or just to the east of Billings. And then watch what happens. This thing drops farther south in Wyoming. When it does so, it takes the rain and snow with it. So we're looking at mostly sunny skies throughout the rest of Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving night, right on into Friday. Weather's looking pretty nice. So what does that mean for your Thanksgiving dinner? Well, I hope you like pie. It's going to be pretty good. We're looking at mostly sunny skies, 42 degrees, and mostly sunny and breezy for your Thanksgiving forecast. We'll have more on the rest of the week in a few more minutes.
All right, thank you, Bob. Well, the time to bring your little ones out to chat and take photos with Santa is here. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, plans may have changed. This year, Q2 is teaming up with Clark Martin Photography to give kids a chance to win a virtual chat with Santa. And along with a chat with Santa, the whole family could win a big prize just for signing up.
Everyone who signs up to talk with Santa will get to have time with Santa Claus. And then we're going to be doing a drawing for a family portrait, a 24 by 30 framed family portrait that's valued at over $3,000 with additional 5x7s and gift prints that they can give to friends and family also. What we've found is that families who have a family portrait on display in their home, kids often grow up with higher self-confidence and become more successful because they always see the value of family that's around them.
Well, if you haven't signed your little ones up yet, you can head over to ktvq.com. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, a new restaurant is gearing up for its grand opening in downtown Billings. Q2's Shaquille Cozart speaks with the owners who are offering elegant comfort food and home-style meals to the community.
There's a new restaurant in downtown Billings. Jason and Jen Marble opened the Marble Table on Montana Avenue. The restaurant will feature what they call elegant comfort food. They said they want people to leave the restaurant with more than just a full stomach, but rather the feeling of warmth, comfort, and the memory of the experience as you would a home-cooked meal.
And every cuisine, every culture, every person has a different idea of comfort food. So that really left us an open palette to play with.
And while opening a restaurant during the pandemic wasn't easy, the owners said they're glad they're still able to follow their dreams while ensuring the community's safety.
All taking precautions, having the dividers up in here, they're little coves, they're little romantic coves per se, but we're just trying to make people feel in our small space that, we're trying to help be safe too.
While opening the Marble Table, Jason and Jen said they wanted to do something to help out the local businesses in the community as well. So they teamed up with Carter's Brewery right across the street, where people that are drinking there can actually scan a QR code on their phone and have the Marble Table make food for them that they can then pick up later on. They're also featuring work from a local photographer in Billings, as you can see behind me.
We're trying to help other people. We're doing as much local stuff as we possibly can. We have local beers. If it's not within just here in Billings, but in Montana, we want to make sure that this is a family place, a community place.
The Marble Table had their soft opening yesterday and their grand opening is scheduled for Friday. They said they have already received messages and calls from people in the community with positive words and support.
We're so overwhelmed with the love and support from the community. It just kind of takes you back, you work so hard on something, and it's pretty cool that we get the opportunity to do this together.
In Billings, I'm Shaquille Cozart with MTN News.
Thanks, Shaquille. And for more information on the Marble Table, you can visit ktvq.com. Up next on tonight's Q2 530 News, Krista Rose takes us to one of the great engineering marvels in history that's celebrating 80 years in eastern Montana. And then a little later in sports, a trip to the Cowboy State to see how the football team is handling the highs and lows of this year's season during the pandemic. Keep it here.